Hey, welcome to Frank's Hack number 7. Number 7 days already, guys. If you haven't subscribed and maybe liked the previous videos, feel free to do it right now. It really helps the channel, helps us to boost our numbers and progress. What I want to really share with you guys in this particular video and this particular hack is how to scale your LinkedIn outreach. You're probably familiar that Salesforge can help you with everything that has to do with email. So feel free to go to Salesforge.ai/ecosystem and you can see all the products that have to do with email. However, we will be launching LinkedIn very soon as well. The ability to connect unlimited profiles to Salesforge and use also LinkedIn as a secondary channel to email, naturally to boost your pipeline numbers by up to 30 to 50%. This is what we're hoping to achieve. We're having the ability to connect unlimited LinkedIn profiles together with unlimited mailboxes to Salesforge. Now, in this particular video, you're seeing that I'm using a system right now where over the last 30 days or so, I've sent already over 8,000 connection requests. We had already 3.8K that I'm seeing right now in terms of messages being sent. Messages opened is about 40%. We skipped actually accepted rate is 47%. You may think it's relatively low, but I'm going to explain why it's slightly lower than the typical that I would have, like 60-70%. And then you can see the reply rate is 35%, which is amazing versus a typical reply rate of 5% that we're seeing on average within Salesforge across email. So we are seeing a 7x increase in reply rate by using LinkedIn. We just want to do, and you can see 1.3K of replies over the last 30 days, which is amazing. And the block rate, which is sort of the spam rate in email, is only 0.7%, which is very, very healthy. So the way that we do that is naturally we have a really good list. So typically what we do is we either go after specific posts on LinkedIn. These could be also lead magnets, right? So where people do lead magnets and then you comment, please comment AI and then do XYZ. So we also take, commenters from there and people that react with those posts. Anything that goes viral and has to do with our space, whether that's AI agents, cold email deliverability, and so on and so forth, that's what we kind of pull. We also go after webinar attendees of our own webinars, naturally webinars also of our competitors, or any friendlies in the space. We would reach out to them about the topic. So let's say if the topic was about building AI agents, then when we're gonna be doing the reach out, right, when we're gonna build the list, the messaging will be all about the AI agent, because guess what, guys? We have our own #1 AI agent called Agent Frank. You can check it out, agentfrank.ai, and get an email from him. And so list building is super important, right? So there's multiple different ways how you can do that. We actually did a webinar with other parties on this. So once we have the list, we have the right messaging against the whatever was in the post discussed. So never say, hey, I've seen that you commented on that post. That's really, really bad. Don't ever mention anything like, I've seen you commented, I've seen you like the post, whatever. Don't do that. That's really creepy. People typically have a negative reaction to anything like that. So we have the list, we have the messaging, and what we really now need is the scale. Naturally, with LinkedIn, you can only connect up to 100 people per week. So there's a limit. And just like with mailboxes, you can also send only up to 30 cold emails, max. Per day. There's always a limit, right? So how do you increase the absolute numbers? Well, you need more LinkedIn profiles. And these are not fake profiles. These are not mirror profiles of yourself. So I don't have like the hundreds of Franks out there on LinkedIn. That's definitely not the case. But where do we get real individuals? So with this volume, with these number of connections that we've sent, we actually have over 30 LinkedIn profiles connected to the software right now. And 10 are employees out of 40 employees that we have in the business. We could, connect a lot more if we wanted to, but we decided to go down a different path because we want to get up to 100 LinkedIn profiles connected to a pool. Right now we have 30, right? So out of 100, right? So we're definitely on the way. But actually over the last 2-3 months, what we've done is when we went to nearby universities, campuses, and we had our stand. We talked about Salesforge and joining what we call the LinkedIn Bootcamp. LinkedIn Bootcamp was a training for an hour or two where we discussed how to optimize your LinkedIn profile, how to improve your employability. And then after that, you can join the LinkedIn Accelerator to essentially become practical and the way you can be sort of hands-off from actually optimizing your LinkedIn profile, boosting connections, etc. And what the LinkedIn Accelerator really means is we would optimize your LinkedIn profile. It's really a lot of hand-holding with the student. And then we would onboard them to the common pool of other LinkedIn profiles, including our employees. We would hook them up to our Salesforge account. And then we'd use these profiles then to engage naturally with CEOs, heads of growth, VP sales, etc., at scale out there. And the connection naturally accepts are slightly lower than it would be for me, let's say 30-40% versus mine 67%, but it's still worthwhile doing it, and doing it kind of slowly and kind of help these students ramp up their connections to like 500 or 1,000. So ultimately, we're making them from a nobody to a somebody. That's something that they're committing to for 6 to 12 months. There's fair value exchange. We pay nothing naturally for these profiles. We're just looking after them and making sure we're ramping. And because naturally a proper LinkedIn profile can significantly increase the chances of getting a job these days, because you are becoming a somebody on LinkedIn rather than nobody over the span of 6 to 12 months. So that's really the growth hack. That's how we get the volume up. That's how we get the list up in the software. And that's the messaging. Not going to discuss too deep, but it really depends on the post. If you have any questions on anything that I've really outlined, feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn. Happy to chat about this and go on from there. Cheerio.